Well, that was it's a daily double. 2 bad days in Delaware. I was leaving and I said to Jason said, geez, another horrible day. I said, yeah, well, Emerald missed. Somebody said to me, geez, you used her hard. It's the first time she's drawn the inside forever. We trained her in 58, I think, the other day. She had the rail. This is a filly that's paced 54, 55, 56, plenty in the past, in a fair race. From the rail, he asked me, he said, well, 27-2. Listen, I could run to the quarter in 27-2 in Delaware. It's a fast track. So she got up the quarter in 27-2, backed him up 57-1. She's just an okay filly, right? And that just goes to show, she paced 57 and finished last. A sound last. Beaten last. She's had her issues with lameness her whole life. Now she's actually sound and maybe slower than she's ever been. So, Emerald Mist just didn't race great, to be honest. You can say I drove her hard, fine, I guess. Racing for $4,000 or $5,000, I certainly wasn't going to run her up the wood and hope for a fifth. I raced her like she should have been raced and proved that, maybe this is a filly that isn't going to do us a whole lot of good this year. Maybe I should have sold her 6 weeks ago when I could have. Not the end of the world. We'll put her up for sale. We'll move Emerald Mist along. She'll be a useful horse for somebody, just not us. And then Rose Run Why Not? Got a terrible trip. You're on a half-mile track. What am I going to do? Take her back to 8th? I know I got to be first. First gets us in the final. I know I probably can't beat the 3, but I got to be up close to the 3. Or just make it known before the race that it's impossible to win if the 3 horse makes front and just give up. I wanted to float out, get in front of a couple of horses, find some flow, and instead I got the 5-hole slammed on me. No 5-hole. Ended up out in every turn. And then I was letting Sean out in front of me come into the half, and he get out in a big hurry and he get pretty tight. She got out of gear. Got up on top of him coming to the half. He went to hit his horse, hit her right in the face with the whip. She still trotted. And then I asked her down the backstretch, and it was just a lot for her. She just didn't have, she was just spinning her wheels. So ended up a tough 5th. She's a tough filly. My God. It would have been a Cinderella story to see her win today and then go out and race great in the final. But we all live in the reality of planet Earth where things aren't always nice and fluffy and fair, and it was a tough day for her. It was a tough race for her, and she was 5th. So that's it for Rosie. Depending on how she comes out of that race, I just saw her eating a big flake of hay when I left at the burn. So she's feeling good. She came out of it good. She's tough. Not surprising that she did that. So we'll see what we do with her. I might, after watching That's My Girl manhandle the maiden at the Meadows today, might be a spot for her for a race. And I know people will say, geez, that's a long way to go. It's shorter from our farm to the Meadows than it is from our farm to Scioto, Delaware, or any of the other Ohio racetracks. So it's not really that long of a ship. In a truck and trailer, probably 2.5 hours. In my car, a little under 2 from the Meadows to Northfield. It's all highway, so it's not like you have that jerking and going. It's an easy ship, put it that way. So probably I would like to put a 2-year-old mark on a filly that works so damn hard to make it to the races at 2. It would be nice to get a mark on her as a 2-year-old. Mama Knows Best. Clearly she just couldn't get around the track today. Now, a little bit of an update. We had an issue last week that Mama Knows Best showed a little blood in her trach when she was scoped. And again today, although she didn't do a ton of work, there was a little blood there. So Jason and I talked about it for a good hour. Weighed our options and decided that if we were going to attack the Sire Stakes Consolation, goes for $75,000. If we are in fact going to make a run at the Consolation, which I believe we absolutely should, then we should do everything to help the filly. And I think putting her on Lasix is probably, although it's not what I want to do, and I'm sure as a 3-year-old she may not need it, for her to race in the Sire Stakes Consolation. And keep in mind, like Jason said, gee, she looked terrible today, but the mental aspect of horse racing in a horse plays a big role. And if she's out of gear because she is feeling like she may bleed, or she did bleed last week, therefore mentally she's maybe not prepared to go to battle this week, then it can be a real problem. So I think the easiest way to fix that for everybody, including Mama Knows Best and Concerned, is to simply put her on Lasix. We'll school her on Lasix to make sure she's okay on it, and then we'll race her in the Consolation on Lasix. And Jason said, well, it's 25 days away or something, 20-some days away. I said, again, same class Mama Knows Best, or the other filly won at the Meadows. It's a bigger track. It's got a better surface. I guess the surface in Northfield's pretty good. But the problem with the maiden at Northfield, they mix it with 3-year-olds. Now, they mixed it with 3-year-olds in Pennsylvania today, but you can see there's quite a difference between that mix and the one at Northfield, where Rooney Blue Chip was in that maiden. So I just assume ship them both down, try and race them once there. We'll see how that goes. I think we'll have to give preference to Mama Knows Best as a prep for the Consolation, now that I say it out loud. There's still some fillies with stake races left. So Mama Knows, or Rose Run Why Not just got ready now. She may have to wait a couple of weeks before we get her raced in the Meadows. So I would think, because I'd like to prep That's My Girl once more. She fits that class once more. That class is a 2-year-old maiden trot, also eligible. 3-year-old maidens, also eligible non-winners of 2 for 2-year-olds. I don't know why they write it that way, but it's great. So That's My Girl gets one more kick at the can next week. Perfect. Even better, I don't have to drive her. Obviously, Dave got along with her today. Didn't look like there was a whole lot of concern. I said to him, just float her into the gate and do what you want. He just controlled the race, and the most impressive part was when he put her in gear in the last turn. This affiliate struggled in the turns in Indiana and just blasted through the last turn. Finished up a little light, but there was no challengers, right? I was very, very happy with what I saw from That's My Girl today. And a great prep race, hopefully a similar one next week would be great for That's My Girl, heading to Indiana on October the 6th. Will be her last Sire Stakes race. Makes sense. I don't think anybody can make an argument to not race her in that race. So, especially after today, she looked impressive. 58 last quarter, 28-3 last half, 58-1. That was an awesome mile. So, coming up, what's coming up for these fillies? Next week, a week from today on Tuesday, That's My Girl will race again at the Meadows. A week after that, I would think we will go to Mama Knows Best on the 12th at the Meadows, which, ooh, that might be tight. Let me work on that. I think that might be 5 days. That might be a little tight. Let's see how, there's an issue with the Lasix also, entering the horses on Lasix in Pennsylvania. Ooh, it's a conversation Jason and I have to have over that. That's tight. So we have Mama Knows Best. Will hopefully race in the Meadows also in that maiden race. We'll get her squared away a little bit and get her back on track. And then following that will be, they may split one of those races also, in which Rose Run Why Not will get in right away. So I'd like to have a race or two for Rose Run Why Not, put her away relatively fresh and let her grow up. She is huge. And then we have the fillies that are racing today. Now also today, it wasn't a horrible day. It was a bad day in Delaware. As I said, Emerald Miss wasn't good enough. Made a break with Mama Knows Best. She wasn't trotting good. And Rose Run Why Not had a hellish trip from the 7-hole. But great day at the Meadows, 2 for 2. That's My Girl mauled them pretty good. She won easily. And then our girl Globetrotting. Now, 30-3 on the end of it, but David torched her a little bit. She didn't train that great on Saturday. I said to Dave, I know it's an easy class. She's 6-5. Use your best judgment. She didn't train the greatest, and she had a little mucus in her airway. It's how strong that filly is. We scoped her after the race today just to see what was going on today, and she was clean. So no mucus, no redness, no issues. She was clean. A good race from her. I'd like to talk to Tim about what is in store for Globetrotting in the future also after today. So, so far, we have 2 wins and 3 poor races. I'm getting the shit kicked out of me here in Delaware. Man! Oh, now I know how Rosie feels. Just had a tough 2 days here. Never had any luck in Delaware. I mean, I said to Aaron Merriman, I said, I love Ohio, but man, I have no luck in Delaware. Now, when you're going to race horses that aren't good enough or get a bad trip out of the 7-hole or make a break, I guess that's what's going to happen. Hopefully, looking for some luck tomorrow, I can guarantee you a check in I'm a Lovely Ladies race. I will guarantee you she will get a check. It's a 5-horse field. She's picked to win, going for $50,000. tomorrow would be an important day to break the streak of bad luck, wouldn't it? We got our 2 heavy hitters, $50,000 pick to win. I'm a Lovely Lady, and then in tough is my Jazz, but she always finds a way to throw a right hook at some point. So, small field, small filly, very handy on a half-mile track. Who knows? We'll see what happens tomorrow in Delaware. So that's it for today. I know we got a couple racing tonight. Good luck to them. I know Cruz is racing tonight. Want to see him race good. I think we have another one. I think we have 2 in tonight. Pretty sure. Anyway, good luck to everybody tonight. A decent day so far. 2 for 5 in America. Take care.